Hi guys, I'm Livy. Welcome. I have already done a curriculum unboxing if you want to see the core material we're going to be using this year for reading and math, and some of the books that I'm basing like science, history, and extracurriculars off of. But this, I'm actually going to just make like a chatty video here, kind of going over how I'm breaking down each quarter and specifically like what the lessons are that are extracurricular or that I'm making up or that are based on field trips or crafts. I'm not going to go over so much plans for reading and math because those are our two core subjects, and we're really just following curriculum verbatim, opening the book and going as far as those are concerned. So there's not a lot of detail to go over there. Probably do 4 or 5 days a week for reading lessons and 3 days a week for math. One thing I am changing this year, because I have learned through trial and error not to just buy a bunch of curriculum and do a little bit of everything every day and try my hardest to be consistent and finish it all, because that has set us up for failure. Naive of me to think that that would work. I have more of a rotation system kind of plan. Not only is it more like flexible and leaves more margin, but the stuff I'm planning is stuff the kids have had a say in that I know will excite them, and I understand better how kids learn and why this will work for us. So let's just dive right in. I've broken down our plans according to quarter. So in quarter one, our daily morning routine is listening to an audiobook when I drive. Audiobooks, we just kind of fly by the seat of our pants and see what is available for free in the library app. Right now we're going through the Dragon Master series, and I'll keep giving you guys updates on what we choose to listen to. I also have some books that are based on the life of missionaries but written for kids, which I'm excited to go through with them too. But I'm not super rigid on what we listen to, how long we listen to it, or the progress we make. I just track it and just go. Just if we're listening to books, that's good. Devotional, prayer, and poem. Sing a Song of Seasons with the daily poem inside of it. Louis Giglio, we've almost finished this one, and the second one, How Great Is Our God, from the same author, Louis Giglio, is next. It's a science and devotional in one, like science lesson and devotional in one. Did talk about that more in my unboxing, and then praying together, and then I'll choose a scripture every month, have a new scripture to repeat a few times together in the morning. Also part of our morning routine is doing a 3-minute drill for self-defense. I did Kenpo karate, Kali knife fighting, and jiu-jitsu ground fighting growing up, so it's really easy for me to just make something up. So for quarter one, we're going to be doing a shield block and parry, and I'll just have them practice that a few times over. The reason for this is I feel like I don't need to explain why someone needs to know self-defense, but even being homeschooled, we've run into certain situations in certain places where the kids have been bullied. At the very least, if not for a full-on emergency situation, I want my kids to know how to not get hit. I will be rotating moves for them to drill just for a couple minutes with me every morning. Now let's break down quarter one by month. Our school year is not like verbatim exactly like the local public school system. It's loosely based on it. We don't take all the same breaks, and I don't divide the quarters perfectly evenly. So I believe how I made it was quarter 1 and 2 are 9 weeks, and quarter 3 and 4 are 12 weeks. You run into December and Christmas, and then you kind of get that January, February slump where nobody wants to do school. Let's just be honest. And in the homeschool space, in January and February, it's rough. So I tried to leave plenty of margin for that. So in August, so quarter 1, August, we have a lot of exploring nature stuff I'm trying to do, and you'll notice that a lot of this is weather-based. So I'm trying to just get us outside while we have nice weather in the fall, and then that shifts and I bring on like all the crafts and field trips in the colder months, so December, January, February. So this is not evenly spread at all. It's all based on issues I know we're going to run into based on experience according to weather. Activity 46 out of exploring nature, to start an herb garden with the kids. I want to take them to Chuck E. Cheese once because we have points in the app I don't want to expire. I want to take them to pick dandelions and learn how to make dandelion syrup together. Underwater view is a craft in here we're gonna do where you basically like make viewfinder out of the bottom of like a Solo cup and stick it in the water and wait and use it to view fish underwater. It sounds super cool. In September, we're planning to go camping, and while we're camping, we're gonna utilize this guy, learning how to use a Swiss I can't talk today. We're going to be learning how to use a Swiss Army knife and learning how to build a fire, which we've already done that before, but they need to continue practicing, probably practicing cooking over a fire as well. More from the Exploring Nature book. In September, we will do a leaf experiment where we gather leaves and then observe it decaying and what happens inside the leaf and why that happens. Flower pressing with books, which I think will be a really magical experience. And then I want to go to the apple orchard and have a picnic at least one time. Notice a lot of these things I write down like don't take that much planning or any planning at all, but I'll forget. Like we'll get to November and I'll be like, why haven't we gone to the apple orchard yet? So I just try to stagger things so we don't miss out on any of those experiences that I want them to have. That's quarter one. Quarter two, daily morning routine. So still listening to audiobooks, Louis Giglio devotional, pray together, daily poem, and monthly scripture, reading and repetition, and then we practice blocking kicks for quarter two. Okay, for October in Exploring Nature, we're doing learning navigation, we're doing a scavenger hunt, we're learning how to track animals based on poop and prints. In the survival guide book, we're going to practice making a shelter. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Our trip to the apple orchard with a picnic, and then of course Halloween. And I put decorating for Halloween because sometimes I'll do that last minute and then be like, why didn't I plan this better and like make the trip to Target for the stuff I want. The kids like decorating with me. And I feel like that counts as home design, right? That's valuable. Just kind of put a question mark with Halloween because we will check with our local library and see what free events they're having. I'm sure they will have something fun. November, I would like them to go horseback riding at least once, on a hayride at least once. We have a really nice park that offers all that nearby. Always buy a pass there because it's where we take all our hikes and all that, and we way more than get our money's worth. We're going to do a walnut craft. This is such a cute idea. So we're gonna, first it's gonna start out like an identification assignment. So we're gonna look for a walnut tree, gather walnuts, break them open, empty them, and then they're gonna glue little jewels inside of the walnut shells, and then they can like open and close them like a treasure. So I'm gonna have us make a bunch of them as Christmas gifts for family and friends. We will do a hike for mushroom identification. We'll make a trip to our local children's museum. I put Daisy's birthday just so I don't forget to plan it ahead and make it very special because I tend to do their birthdays very last minute and regret it. Thanksgiving activities with a question mark. Again, we'll check the local library for events. Our library puts on a ton of events and I love it and I don't want to forget that this year. I also have just some simple activities like color by number that are Thanksgiving themed, fall themed, like puzzles and things like that I just want to break out and kind of strew around the house. Fall and Thanksgiving decorating. So that is pretty much the end of quarter two. Quarter three, December 2nd through February 20th. So a much longer quarter. Our daily morning routine, audiobook, but also now rotating classical conversation history songs from cycle 2. Instead of we will take a break from our devotional and do storybooks based on a Europe unit study, which I don't have it with me, but the book, Give Your Child the World, we will use the reading list out of that to gather some books, storybooks about Europe, reading those. Pray together, scripture memorization, poem of the day. We'll practice some jujitsu, ground fighting moves, and how to escape being choked from behind. Breakdown according to month. So December, man, I am so excited. We usually end up putting curriculum work aside altogether to just make memories, and I've never regretted it. I have way more than we'll probably be able to do, but then again, I don't know. It's exciting. So December, I've listed Christmas vacation to Tennessee, Children's Museum, which will probably have special Christmas events planned, Creation Museum, which will probably have special Christmas events planned, library events, Christmas busy book. So a busy book is just like, here's one. This is not the Christmas one, but this is me. So this is a picture of Daisy and she sticks it on here, and I don't have all the pieces that go inside it, but we have one that is Christmas themed that I'll assign for them to do. Decorate cookies, make herbs and make homemade bread to give to friends and family for Christmas, decorate the house together, learn how to wrap gifts, read Christmas books from the library, which I will have to make a note to go get library books like the last day in November, because everybody at our library cleans the shelves of Christmas books as soon as it's December. I want to make some sort of ornaments together. I think we might try stringing popcorn or drying out and stringing slices of oranges or something like that. Decorate the tree together, of course, and watch the nativity story. So that is December. January, we're still in quarter 3. We're going to do a dinosaur unit. So I was saving this for a time I know we'll be snowed in a lot. But they did specifically request a dinosaur unit this year, which I think is adorable. We'll gather some miscellaneous library books that are about dinosaurs and read that as part of our read aloud in our morning routine. We'll visit the Creation Museum and bring along some dinosaur flashcards that we have, and I will have them like pick some of their favorite dinosaur cards and then do a scavenger hunt and try to find models of that dinosaur inside the museum to read facts about it. A couple episodes from season 2 we'll watch together from the Magic School Bus that are dinosaur and fossil themed. There is a project in here to bake your own fossils that we'll do as well. Also want to be sure to take them sledding at least once, to build snowmen and drink hot chocolate at least once. So that's January. February, we're gonna hone in a little bit on art. So my daughter is more and more interested in art. She loves to draw and paint and color, but we haven't done a lot of formal lessons, and there's so many free lessons on YouTube. I put for us to try to do 8 art lessons, just random, let them choose what they want, and then for her to do her Learning Busy book a couple times. That's really all I had for February. That's the end of quarter 3. Quarter 4 runs February 20th to May 8th. So yes, I'm always trying to break for summer early. Put a note here for myself to remember to start planning a garden, which I'll just include my kids in. Okay, our daily morning routine, audiobooks and continuing classical conversations cycle to history songs. Devotional, we'll go back to the devotional instead of storybooks at this time. Prayer, daily poem, scripture memorization, and then we'll drill how to get out of someone holding your wrists, a front choke, and a bear hug from behind. In February, our events are more Europe-themed stories, and we're going to refer to our globe a lot to incorporate geography. We'll have library visits and check for library events. Same in March. Stories for a unit study, referring to our globe frequently, trips to the library, and looking for library events. In April, I put Easter with a question mark. Again, we'll look for library events, maybe throw a couple crafts together for Easter based on something I find on Pinterest maybe, and we'll decorate together for spring and probably take a special trip to Target for some of their dollar spot decoration. I do have 4 different outdoor activities scheduled for April. It's really hit or miss with weather here in April. It can be nice or it can still be way too freezing cold to go out. So we'll just have to see if any of this happens or not. If we can't, then it's not difficult to come up with indoor stuff to do, like stories and crafts instead. Exploring nature, we have reading a tree, how to tell how old the tree is, tree identification, constellations, how to read constellations from both Exploring Nature and the Survival Guide, and bird watching. In May, we're only doing 1 week of school in May and then quitting theoretically. So that week of May, I did put that I want to do a finding water nature hike where the kids just learn how to find a water source. I think that was the only special activity I had, other than I want to order chapbooks, which is just like little books that you can order really easily on an app, basically to pre-scrapbook for me to save me the work. They order you like a totally bound book of all the photos on your phone, and plan a really nice last day of school party. I put to remember to plan summer learning. So those are all of our plans, and I'm super excited. I'm going to bring along this, I didn't make any specific plans for it, but I'm just gonna throw this Backyard Bugs encyclopedia into my backpack on all of our nature hikes. I have a plant identification app on my phone that we'll bring as well, and I will try to film our adventures and share it with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope this gave you some ideas for your year and inspired you to think ahead. If you're bad at thinking ahead like I am, what are you doing for the holidays? What is your library putting on? This year, money was so tight, and now I'm so grateful for it because I realized that it was in habit that I would buy things for unit studies or buy things as soon as I thought they need to learn something. We need to go to the store. And that wasn't an option this year. And I realized I needed to buy nothing, like almost nothing. I mean, they might need like a backpack and a magnifying glass, but we're pretty much set. If you're using hiking trails and the library, you're good. And we already have membership cards to the local Children's Museum and Creation Museum, but those things aren't necessary to have amazing experiences. I hope this encouraged you and inspired you, and if you liked it, remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.